always fascinated by the water. It can have incredibly powerful waves, and it can be the most peaceful, quiet beauty. It can be both intimidating and inviting. Water has always had a spiritual significance for me. It's where I personally connect with God. I've always been too afraid to paint water, believing that it was too hard, and questioning what right did I have to dare to paint it. But this year, I've been called out of my comfort zone. This is my first attempt at painting rough water. For this painting, I'm half making it up and half working from a reference photo. I highly recommend you work from a reference, whether you're sitting in front of a lake or the ocean or looking at a photo. For everything you need to begin an acrylic painting, check out my video, Everything You Need to Start an Acrylic Painting. Have all of that ready before you begin. I recommend pre-mixing all your colors as acrylic paint dries quickly, and you won't be able to mix on the canvas as it will likely dry before you achieve your desired color or shade. I recommend pre-mixing all your colors and shades. Using cobalt blue and a bit of titanium white, I painted a base mid-tone color using horizontal strokes all across where I wanted the water to be on the canvas. While the paint was still wet, I added in these blue hills and blended them out a bit. These are going to be the darkest parts of the waves. I'm following my reference photo, paying attention to the various shades. That's what I learned the most. There are so many different tones of water. When I paint water again, I'm going to add a lot more mid-tones than I did in this painting, and I'm going to use different blues to give more depth and dimension. But for now, using one blue is a good start. Pay attention to whatever colors, shades, and shapes are happening in your reference. For smaller ripples in between the bigger waves, I'm using a slightly lighter blue and using smaller strokes closer together. I'm trying my best to follow what I see in my photograph. I noticed that the waves are darkest at their peaks, or just below their peak. They are also dark in a diamond shape in the middle of the wave, but I couldn't master that look in this piece, perhaps in the next one. I added highlights to the top of each wave just along the edge where the sun would reflect. Ideally, I would have used a thinner brush and a thinner line, and I wouldn't have used white straight from the tube. I would have mixed it with the smallest amount of blue, saving my brightest white for the sparkles and the very brightest highlights. In between the waves, there are spots where the light hits. These are not the brightest points, but they are lighter than the majority of the wave. As you can see, using one type of blue does not make the water look realistic. I recommend following the colors you see in your reference. Often we get in our heads and conceptually don't understand how to paint water because water is clear. We usually default to blue, but water only ever reflects that which is around it. Water is blue if the sky is blue, but deep, wavy water can be green or brown. For finer details, I either change to a smaller brush size or use the tip of my brush. For bigger parts, I press a little harder and use the fuller part of my brush. A rule of thumb is if you want something to appear closer to the viewer, make it bigger and in the lower half of your canvas. If you want something to appear further away from the viewer, make it smaller and in the upper half of the canvas. Apply this same principle to the waves. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment how you think I did, and subscribe if you want to see more. Follow me on Instagram to see the final piece, step-by-step process of my work, and other things I've been working on. I'm opening a shop soon, so follow for updates if you like my work and want to buy it. Thanks for watching.
Stupid animals.